Alright, this is Francisco Perez. Welcome to another educational lesson. So we're just going about fishing, alright? This is a little bait pole. You can whip with it. Small game. Medium game. So what you do is you stick it through the loops. Put it on up so it drags a little loose. Okay. I'm going to show you a few ways to do ties. Show you different types of styles. So depends on what fish you're going for, the size of the line. Okay. So a typical way you could do it is you could just tie a hook at the end and with a worm with a little lead here. Let me show you. I'll just do one. I'm going to use bigger hooks so you guys can see. Okay, let me use this. So, at the hook, okay? So, the typical tie would look something like this. You go hook in on the top, down, okay? Now you pull out a little extra, okay? And then you spin it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And the 8th time you stick it to the little loop at the end. Okay? So you're going from the top into the loop. And you want to come back around through that little loop you just created. And if you pull that, see, this is how it looks. Now if you pull it, tightens. Okay? So if there's any resistance on the line, it's just gonna make it tighter. Right? So what you do is you take the little ending and you cut it off. Not too much, just a good amount of it. And that will be like a typical drag line or a whipping line, and you would put this is a smaller worm, obviously, for this. You would be using like things like this though, because you wouldn't be using hooks this big. But what you would do is, I'll show you on the smaller one. So what you'll be doing is you'll be going through the worm. You could either go directly through it and then hook it down. And as you hook it down, it'll start to look like a fish or a bug. So it'll be running around like this. See how that moves? So that'll get eaten up real quick, and with this type of hook, you would catch fishes all day like that in those sizes. But this is obviously for big game. A good one. Okay, so what you do is after you connected that line, then you would grab this. sorry. Okay. So you get like this. You get one like this. You you tie it somewhere here, depending on how shallow the waters are in your area. So if the water is really shallow, then you don't want to put it. You want to put it more low. That way you get more access. You don't want the thing just hanging on the ground. You know what I mean? So depending on the fish you're going after, see, that's how you want it. Like, but if it's shallow, then you want to bring it down more. And this will be pulling the hook so it looks more natural, right? So this is a typical line. This is a typical line. You reel it up and you whip it out. If you're on a boat and you drag it in the back, something will hook it up. So this is a standard line. So take this off. So a lot of times you want to just dunk. So with that type of line too, you could hook up a floaty up here, and then you could have that floating and this hanging down here. But typically, if you're doing like a rock or beach, and you want to just have the pole stationary, then you could do something like this. So what you would take, something like this. So you take something like this, and these connected joints. You see the two loops at the end, connected by these bearings and this ball. And this will give it like a little move, but it'll be strong in connection. So what you do is you take the end of your line and you would stick it through. So I'm gonna show you a new tie. Okay, so you stick it through, and okay, you come back around. Okay, stick it through again. Okay, stick it through again. So now you got it through twice, okay? So what I want you to do is wrap it around. So you're gonna wrap it around. So you have a loop right here now. That's two loops. You're gonna take the end, put it through the loop. Alright? Take it out the loop, put it through the loop, and do this 3 times. Okay, this is all the professionals use this ties. These are ties that they use in the in freshwater fishing in the mainland. This is a very good tie. They've done research, and this tie outlasts almost all other ties. So after you wrapped it around 3 times, you pull it. Okay? Now that creates a super tie. Okay? That will not come out. You take the end of that, cut that. Cut that off. Okay? Now you have just created you a line. This is your main line. If you have a lead line and a hook line, if your lead line gets stuck, your lead line can bust. It'll break, and you still have a hook line coming attached from this. Okay? So typically, if you're depending on what fish If you're going for bonefish, I like to do a short lead and a long line for your hook. Maybe some squid. Squid is very good. Um, Shrimp, taco. Squid is the best. So I would take that and put that on the end of this. If I wanted to, if I had like a more rocky area and I wanted the fish higher up, then I'll put a long line lead and a short line hook, and this will prevent the fish from hiding in the reef. Okay, so I would take this, and you can take your hook line, right, and what you do is you take the end of here and you tie that. Okay, so once again, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Not seven, not seven, not six. Eight. And stick it to this little loop at the end. Okay, and as you stick it to the loop, you come up through the loop, to that big loop you just created, and pull it. Okay, try not to use your teeth because you will chip your teeth. Okay, especially when you're big game fishing and you trying to use your teeth. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Okay, it's gonna work, but teeth ain't gonna work. You feel me? All right, so now you got you a little basic line. Now we gotta add a lead line. So if if I'm using a hook like this, then a lot of times I'll be using a lead like this, or maybe even larger, as I'll have a conventional reel, and that's a different type of reel where I can get a farther and deeper depths. So, so let's let's take a little line to do this 10-pound test. So that's a good one too. When you use this type of rigs, you're gonna be getting some big game. Okay? So sometimes you're willing to let one of these go in order um, to use a skinnier line. That way, if the fish tries to swim into areas where there are things in the way, then this will snap and you could still bring the fish in. So let me just, we're gonna go and get a long line. So stretch your arm out, okay, around there, because you're gonna be tying, be cutting. You got a little line, so pull it through. Go. This is the second tie. There you go. In again, twice. Okay. Now you have a good little circle twice. And complete that circle. And once you complete that circle, you come through the hole. Come through the loop. One, two, three. You tie that up. And that's a good tie. There you go. Cut the tip off. Cut the tip off. I got a little extra. I'm gonna teach you if you don't have these different metal couplers and all these swivels. I'm gonna teach you ways how to do it without these, because a lot of us gonna be in places where we don't have all these accessories, and we just have the hook. And you know what I mean? We don't even have a lead. We have to use a rock. I'm gonna show you how to use a rock. Show you how to use all these hooks without using these metal couplers. Alright, but first let's finish this. So what you do, let's just take a little bit off this. We can use this for the next time. Okay, so we're gonna go right through here again. We're gonna do the first tie now. We've done the first tie twice, done the second tie twice. So you could stick it on the bottom or the top. Me, I like to stick it on the top part, where it's a little separated from the hook line, and you're able to not get tangled, avoid tangling. And I'll show you how to use a tie without the metal couplers and how to avoid tangling within those ties, because there's ways to do it. Okay, so boom, tied good. So you get this, and you take the end, and boom, ties good. Okay, see that? So now you have a tie. So let's take that off. And let's try it without, say you don't have any of these couplers. Okay? So, so what you do is you take the end of the line and you put the lead on the end of the line. So you here's the lead, okay? Going in, 6, 7, 8, back to the loop, inside the other loop, 2, tighten, cut, okay? Sometimes you might want to like grind the inside and shave it down so it doesn't cut your line if you're using one of these, because the manufacturers, they have acid in the molds, so you get a little, a line on the middle which is sharp. Okay, so now you have a line, right? Just a basic old line, right? So now you want to fish. So okay, so now you want to fish, right? So in order not to use the couplers, you're gonna wanna grab the line like this and bend it in half. See what I'm doing right here? Okay? And then you grab that and you wanna tie it. So see how you just flip that? You wanna push. So you grab this and you just flip it like that. Flip it around, push it right through that hole. Okay? Once it's through that hole, that is your coupler right there. See that? There you go. That's your coupler. So what you want to do is get your hook, okay, that you just tied here. You get a little bit longer line on this. I'm going to show you another tie right now. This is an ancient Hawaiian tie. Get a little line. Okay, so here we go. you're gonna do. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna push it from the top, and you're gonna give it a little bit of lip at the bottom. Okay, put your finger on top of it in a circle. Okay, and run it along down the line of the hook. Okay, run it all the way down to where it starts to arch. Okay. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the line with your right hand. See, you're holding it. You're holding it with the left hand. You go around the whole line. Make sure this thing stays in there. Stays in the hook. Okay. Now you want to go around and around and around and lock. And each time keep going forward, and so now you got it around about 8 times. Really doesn't matter as long as you got it around about 5, 6 times, or 10. That's good. So once you came around, you want to hold. You're holding this with your thumb and your finger. Now you want to use your middle finger and just grip this so you give it tension. So now you want to go through the bottom. Now this is sticking out. You want to go through the bottom. You know, go through the bottom and go right through that your middle finger, that little hole that your middle finger is creating. Okay? Okay? So pull. Now let it go. Let your middle finger go. Okay? Now pull this bottom hook. Pull the bottom hook. Pull the top hook. Pull the bottom hook. Okay? So now you can cut that. Just a little bit off. Cut the tip over here. And there you go. So with this hook, every time the fish bites or pulls, this thing is gonna just yank it, grab it. See it? It has that bend that Hawaiians employed anciently, that we shared with South America and all over the world. You see how that goes? So what you wanna do? So I'm sweating. I gotta close everything so you don't hear the freeway. I'm trying to get close, but it's not. I don't have the best camera. So here, now you wanna come and bend that in half. Bend that in half like we did the last one. Okay? So we're gonna come around right through the loop, and pull that. Pull that. See that how you created that? Everybody, a lot of people know how to do this loop. Okay? Now you got a loop at the end of the hook. You want to come and bring your line where you had on your fishing pole. Untangle your fishing pole. So this is how your fishing pole is gonna hang like this. So when the fish bites, and there's gonna be a bell, and as soon as that thing yanks, that bell is gonna go off, or you're gonna have it in your hand, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna set the hook. But for right now, I'm showing you how to do a tie without any metal couplers. All you have is a hook, and you know you can create hooks out of bones. You can use the rocks on the ground as lead. Okay? So what you do is you take this hook where the loop is at the end, and you put it through this loop. Okay? Now you got this thing going on right here. Okay? Now you stick this hook through the loop. through the loop, and it'll boom. Look at that. So now you got you a line and you got the lead. You know what I mean? And you could even do this. You take this line right here and you pull it. There you go. So now you cut this little tip off. Okay, you cut that little tip off. Now you got that. Yeah, and you can do the same thing there. See how you just did that? See how you did that? Now what you got there? Huh? Got you ready to go fishing now. Look. Okay? That's how you do it. So in terms of if you don't have any lead and you gotta use a rock, then what you would do is get some line. So what you do is you take the line, you make that circle, that same circle we just did. Now there's many ways to do this. I'm just gonna show you this one, okay? Now you got that, okay? Now this is for a little bigger rock. So let's see what we got. So say this box is the rock, okay? So you stick the line right over. Usually you want to get like something jaggy, so once you tie the line, it'll hold it steady. Okay, boom, so right there. Now once you get it on there, you pull the line and it's gonna tighten it. And you can use a pliers or whatever, any type of leverage you're able to use. And this is your lead. So now you have your lead. Now you have your lead. All you have to do now is just a little loop at the end. This loop will be your best friend. And you tie that onto the fishing pole. So you're gonna get really good at untangling things once you start fishing. So here you can put a double hook. Obviously this is not a hook, this is a lead. So you turn it in. Now you got a little loop there, okay? Now with that loop, you can put your second hook. Now you have two hooks. So what you do is you go through this. Okay? Go to this. So now you went through the loop. One loop went through the other loop, you tied it, you pulled it to tighten it. All you gotta do is rewind this video. That's all you gotta do. Okay? So now you got two hooks. You see that? A lead at the bottom and two hooks. Obviously this is a lead. But just pretend this is a hook, because you could have did that for the hook. I just was showing you how to use rocks as lead. You can do it like that. Okay? Now you got your working fishing pole ready to feed your family. Alright? So I'm going to teach you one last thing before I head out, because I'm super hot. Been a long day. It's really hot in Hawaii. Weather is weird. It's super genetically manipulating the weather. I mean, geo-manipulating the weather. So, on a brighter note, let's show you something that can help you. Okay, let's say you got something like this, okay? this is, say this is 10 pound test, and you're in an area where there's like 20, 30 pound game, maybe even 50 pound game, and you don't want to use this because this is going to lose the fish. So this is what you do. This is called braiding. Okay. So what you do is you take the line, take a considerable amount of line. This is, I'm just doing this much line. You can make like a really nice hook line out of this. Okay. So now you fold it in half. Okay. Make the two tips the same length. Okay. It's fold in half, two tips the same length. Now you get at the, you hold your left hand, you hold the two lines right side by side in your fingers, okay, like that, okay, and you put your fingers all the way to the tip of the loop end, okay, and then you grab it with your this hand, your right hand, and you spin it. So now you're spinning the line, and as you're spinning the line, you're pulling the line through your finger, okay. So if you can't spin it, your hands all wet, then you just go up, you put your finger up another, a little inch or whatever, however much, and quarter inch, and then you do it again. And then so you keep braiding it, and as you get good at braiding, this is just gonna be fast. It's gonna be like, obviously, man, I'm all sweaty right now. So just keep spinning it, holding your finger, holding it tight with your finger. That way you manipulate the two cords to intertwine and create one, you know, like how we do with our families. We're trying to create a family unit, not working against each other. We need to unite. We never choose our predicament. We never choose our ancestors. We never choose what our forefathers did or didn't do to the women or the men, or you know what I mean. Our ancestors were overthrown, and we're in a predicament where we're struggling on our own land, and we're not doing anything wrong. We're here living as we've always lived, being taught things not helping us. So here it goes, and you braid it, and as you braid it, this is how it's gonna look. You see how that strong. Now you just double the strength of the line from the braiding. You can go down the line, just you can keep going down the line and creating a braid, and it's gonna work. This thing really works, and you're gonna have a strong line. I hope, I pray that you can use some of these tips to help you feed your family. Okay, so just Francisco prayers, and I have to shower again. It's all good. Anything to help everybody out, you know. You gotta get some of these like pack of hooks. Get you some line. Put it in some a package, like one of those packages that keep your phone dry. Keep it in that. Keep it safe. You don't know when you're not when fish is gonna be the only thing you can eat. So at some time, who knows? So, all right, you guys have a good one.